I just pushed the button.
Oh, they indeed love their football here.
Little bitty,
New York,
not kitty
as you
kitty.
look inside Rocket Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap, as it'll be the New York Jets taking on the Buffalo Bills.
I can't take it.
And we are underway in Buffalo. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone.
I don't know, man. Nigga, that's right. Niggas are weird, man. I can't. It's just what it is.
Now a late signee let go by Minnesota in June. It's Dalvin Cook. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards. And Charles, you look at this defense. They were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them, and they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
Garrett Wilson, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd down. Look at this Buffalo defense. They were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions,
he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. He's on his way. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
A part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity, just moments in the game, to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on 2nd down.
Play action. Now it's Allen. And he's got his tight end Knox for a Bills touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Their first passing touchdown of the ball game, and they go to the big tight end in those sure hands, and he provides the score.
Certainly looked like they were focused on taking away other weapons, and he certainly made them regret that, because he found the soft spot, ended up taking it to the end zone. Nice throw, too, to complete the play.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game.
I know. I put the game when you played it.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
What?
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Now remember, the last time out, they threw the interception. That led to the touchdown, so now time to regroup.
It certainly is, and their goal right now as they go back out on the field, a calming drive, something that takes the ball, keeps it for a while, lets the defense relax a little bit, and lets the offense regain confidence in their game plan.
Well, this defense for the Bills, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, What do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
And the Jets first down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. You look at this Buffalo defense. Well, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Here is 3rd down and 4. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Hook made by Terrell Bernard. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much up to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener. And it was the Bills winning on the road, so they look for the sweep here in Buffalo. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Allen. That pass complete to Deontay Hardy. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
That's good for a Buffalo Bills. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. He's got this one complete to Sherfield. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards on the play.
Remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Now Allen. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Touchdown, Bills! Trent Sherfield on that.
Okay.
And the Bills lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 14-0.
Black hair.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
Do what he said.
And bring this out to the 25. No return there for Hardman. The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
Every year,
and it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit. Like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
2nd and 10 now. Wilson. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this 1st quarter. He had his his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal.
You get down near the goal line, you need to start enlisting the help of all 11 guys on the defense. And that's a nice job there by the cornerback, squaring his shoulders and coming in to make the tackle.
Extra bulk up front for second and inches. 3 tight ends. Cook will take this over the line. Touchdown, Buffalo. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away.
Yeah, you do the hardest fight, nigga.
McCole Hardman to return it from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
That's now 6 dropbacks, 6 incompletions. Yeah, the defense been pretty good early, but he's got to start hitting some of those throws. He's making them better than what they actually are.
On third down, Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Taylor Rapp with a pick, and he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. Hardman going to bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first. And my goodness, another interception. Taylor Rapp with a pick. Boy, they get him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time, it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's a defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go.
Now Cook running right. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Buffalo touchdown. James Cook with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes this 35-0 now. So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away. Hardman going to bring it out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early, but that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Play. Looking at it.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes. As that throw arrived, tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
All right.
Face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Wilson to throw. And that one almost intercepted. Boy, he's got 2 already, nearly a 3rd, but not to be, and it's 4th down. On 4th down, here's the veteran Thomas Morstead to punt for the Jets. Back deep, Nyheim Hines.
Wow.
Returnable here from the 38.
What the hell?
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
On 2nd down, Cook. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo 1st down.
Give every member of that unit a ton of credit for ripping off such a big gain there, because you don't get free for that many yards on a counter or misdirection without everybody selling the heck out of it.
Allen off the play fake. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown.
Bounced off your man.
James Cook on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bills are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Here's Bass now for the extra point. And he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good.
So like hands from Scary Movie 2. Oh, this is my good hand.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Hardman going to bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Niggas said baby dog.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Getting the ball is Cook running left. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And now here is another interception. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Man in motion is Sherfield. They'll try the wide side with Cook. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Out to the left, he's got his tight end Knox. Touchdown! Dawson Knox. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bills are pouring it on. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's 1 interception, we're still in the first half, I'm about to do the same thing. And my goodness, another interception. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Bills are going to take possession here at their own 33. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about 1 game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't
you know he is.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Dog. When he feel like he got the upper hand and he's winning, he can.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Now 3rd down and 7. 3rd down. Here's a run by Cook. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the 1st down.
So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Jets will take over. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Jay, you gonna remember this man's name forever, nigga.
Here's Wilson. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And now here is another interception. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And the Bills are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah. Ty Detmer.
He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8.
That bad, bro.
Are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. He usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Back around his goal line. Here's Allen. He's got his target. It's the tight end Knox. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. It's a gain of 34. So that play much needed there as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
Finds his rookie tight end, Dalton Kincaid. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 32-yard line. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
You really gonna release Zach Wilson, man? I don't see how quick you get picked
and
up.
They'll get the football first as the 2nd half is underway. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Doo-doo.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Starting the 3rd quarter with Cook. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. To throw, it's Allen. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his 1st sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
On play action, Allen nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got
Why
it.
the fuck would you get up and start?
Field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone.
Well, that's a down
I
and
know,
distance
he
coaches always talk
turned
about
the
trying to
whole other
avoid,
way.
isn't it? And that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They'll try the wide side with Cook. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half. And that trend is continuing here.
Now it's Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to
Wow.
wind up incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner,
I
because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle it for just a short gain.
Here's 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 67 yards for him on the ground now and 3 touchdowns to go along with it.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Jets' 42-yard line.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook, and he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
First down marker at the 5.
Trying to get
2nd and goal. Now it's Hines, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Well, this
He's
is
trying to
a
give
long
him
drive.
two.
In fact, he's eating up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
And am I seeing this correctly? They brought out the field goal team here on first down.
I
From the left hash,
know,
he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. The
block.
kick by Bass is good. And the Bills will add on to their lead. So this drive maybe didn't end with the same kind of success they had in the first half, but they do add 3 to their lead.
And defensively, I think they went in there at halftime and made a pact with each other and said, look, we can't let these guys keep driving it right down our throats. Not perfect giving up 3, but a much better start than the way they played in the first half.
Hardman going to bring it out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's going.
By 90s, like a 1.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They go play action with Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That was Jordan Poyer, the safety, in for the sack. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following
everybody
the sack.
online, they play with the Dolphins and they drop 70. That's my favorite team.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills are going to get it back here just past the 35. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43.
I like it, but I'm
yards
get
rushing for him now. He has been tremendous all day long. I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game. Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Here's Hardman to return. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
2nd down. They go right back to Cook. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He'll let this go deep from the zone.
Crap.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there, it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
And now here's another interception. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys.
Look,
But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. This is Hines. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They run it again with Cook. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice, steady gain.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Brees is on the black, too?
Here comes 3rd and about a foot. Allen going to throw. Flush to his right. Allen hit. He lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to crowd it down near the 11-yard line. Well, there you go. From red zone to red zone on that fumble return.
It's amazing how fast things can turn around, isn't it? I mean, it looks like one team's driving, got everything taken care of. All of a sudden, the ball's on the ground or popped in the air, and whoosh, there you go in the other direction. Good job by the defense. You see how they practiced that, too. You can tell, coordinated. As soon as they got the ball, everyone turned to block someone and try and help him along the way.
And now set up here in terrific field position. Here's 2nd and 10. Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
3rd and 3. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
That's good for Bills. First down.
Cook up the gut. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
That's another Bills. First down.
I think he threw about 10.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Buffalo, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Jets, add one more loss to the column. That drops them to a woeful.
Man, that's the kind of game where niggas get fired. The owner coming in, what the fuck? And lose the fucking mind. Oh. And I forgot a superstar trait. Nah, I think everybody in the middle of playing their games right now.